What's up, guys? How are you doing? And today I bring you their support tier list. Long awaited, this is the final tier list. And if you have not seen the rest, all the rest is there for you to go and check out. In the future, I'll only be doing revisions. So I'll have every single character up on screen and, just move them from where I think they foil from. And yeah, this is how it's going to be afterwards. I will not be doing any more tier lists, only revisions. So yeah, this is the tier list. Let's start. We're gonna try to make it a little bit shorter than the other tier list. So forgive me if I leave out some stuff because some stuff might not be too relevant, I would say, to the tier list. So let's go. So first we have the recruit, and I always said that the recruit would be D. The recruit would be D, but this time is actually C. And there's a good reason for that. The recruit is actually pretty good. He has the highest damage in every single support. Highest damage of headshot in every single support. Though he have smokes, he have one of the nicest abilities ever, and it's a slow. And slows are very powerful. Very, very powerful. I keep getting wrecked by actual supports, recruits, to tell you the truth. I keep getting wrecked by them because that slow is so freaking overpowered. If you played Voron, is the same kind of thing, but just to say you keep your stamina, but you still can't move as fast as you actually can. So it's pretty OP, I would say, for just a recruit. Next we have Yingzhu, and Yingzhu, I put Yingzhu in actually A, and the reason I put Yingzhu in A is actually because he has slugs, and that's in the upgrades. So if you have not reach that upgrade, then you probably have just a number of box shots. But slugs are very much overpowered, especially for headshots. He one-shots medics, he one-shots snipers, he can one-shot assaults also. You probably just wouldn't be able to one-shot supports, especially with the armor they have. But you pretty much can one-shot a lot of the characters as long as they don't have armor. Granted that they don't have armor. He has a 6-round launcher. In the past, I would actually go for the ammo pack refill, where you would refill his special gear by using an ammo pack, and the cooldown would be like a 300 and something seconds. I used to do that all the time, I'm telling you, just to get an extra, and you just spam it and just kill people all around. So it's very powerful. Doesn't do a lot of damage. I think it's probably 45. Don't quote me on that. It could be higher, but yeah, you can always spam that. His ability is actually pretty good, and he has what do you call it? The electromagnetic defense, whatever, and it takes like 40% damage reduction as long as you're within the perimeter. As long as you're inside that bubble, you'll get about 40% damage reduction, and you get a fire rate buff, so you'll be able to shoot that shotgun like it's a freaking semi-auto sniper right there. And trust me, it's very powerful. 118 damage headshot is very good. Yeah, he deserves that spot, to tell you the truth. He deserves that spot. Next we have Alma's. And Alma's kind of went down, There's so much buffs and nerfs that happened that made these characters so freaking dead to me. But Alma's, I put Alma's at B. And Alma's is at B because he has a pea shooter, to tell you the truth. The damage he does is really not really all that. It's doable. It's doable. It is doable. Really, the meat and potato is actually his tankiness. He can actually have up to 250 HP, which is actually extremely good. So that's why you can always tank and win fights. And it's mainly because of that HP that you're going to get with the ability. 250 is extremely good. He has smoke, so there's nothing really big about that. Almost every character has some kind of smoke. Is when you have lethal, it's really where you're in a good spot. You're not a medic, so most likely smokes wouldn't be your thing. Smokes are basically a medic thing. It should only be a medic thing, I think, and everybody else should have lethals or even both. But what can I say? Here we have Bastion, and Bastion, I'll put Bastion at C. Obviously, he's a better C than the recruit. Although in damage, he's definitely not the best. But thing about Bastion is that it's pistol damage, and no matter how you try to fix him up, he's still going to do pistol damage. You can use the skills that helps him out, like readiness, and probably using counter attack, and even heavy barrel to like increase the damage. And you have to close the gap. So if you're not really playing with a teammate, it's kind of harder to be like a pro in playing Bastion, something like that. If the team has flashes and all the stuns, you're pretty much always dead. Pretty much always dead. The good thing is that if someone shoots your hands or your legs, it do 20% less damage, if all that still, because there's so much nerves that I didn't have happen to go around looking at. But yeah, his reflective shield is actually pretty nice. You just crawl up behind the shield, use your ability, and just reflect damage. It reflects a decent amount of damage, and it could actually kill someone who actually has high damage. So if you're dishing out high damage and he's reflecting it, you're gonna die a lot more faster. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's actually pretty good, but not enough to put him in a higher spot. That's it. Here we have Bishop, and Bishop is one of your guys that pretty much an S tier character, especially in ranked. He's probably one of the best characters for rank right now, because the other character, which is probably better than him, is banned so much. But let's get to that. Area denial. Obviously, he has the jammer, and you will know if someone is here. It doesn't actually spot them, but it gives you a reborn, which is the snail reborn. So you always know if there's a character within the perimeter of your jammer, and they are slowed. So usually players hate that. They try to look for the jammer where it is stuck, but obviously that's a lot of distraction to make Bishop actually destroy you. He has a big nade, 150 damage. Can't remember even in case you can make it do more damage or what. But 150 is actually a one-shot grenade. His gun speeds up from like 13 point something to a little bit higher probably. Keeps getting faster and faster and faster, and it keeps getting much more accurate as it speeds up. I tend to use the spread skill for him because it still kind of bounces all around the spot, because it's a machine gun, and machine guns are never really that accurate. Just a few characters here that have more accurate machine guns, but yeah, the jammer is actually pretty good. When a player shoots it and destroys it, he actually gets spotted for about 3 to 5 seconds, and that actually works good. So sometimes I just throw it for them to shoot it so that they could get spotted, so I could advance. And let's move to Bobon. And Bobon, I always leave Bobon at A. And one reason I leave in Bobon at A is really for his ability. His damage is pretty decent. He has 4 shots in his launcher, and they are big nades. So he shoots you on the corner impact grenade. You can make it have a little time on it to get more of a splash damage, I would say, more radius, by adding the option or the upgrade for it to have a delay. But I don't think that's really useful. But you can easily just one-shot people around corners, just in their legs, next to them. You can one-shot a lot of people. Next thing about him is that his ability stuns you. So he shoots you a couple shots, and then you just freeze there and just take the rest of the shot. So if you're basically stunned by his ability, you're almost dead majority of the time. One thing that really keeps him from getting to the S spot is actually his stamina. And you're gonna be so mad running around playing Babon because his stamina is always finished. His stamina is always done. He takes a lot. His sprint cost is too much. So you gotta run everything stamina if you really want to enjoy him. Else you have to be pricking up yourself a lot. And it's freaking annoying. I play him and I'm just checking, like, I'm just fed up of having to prick myself so much, and having to think about stamina all the freaking time. So that's why I don't really like to play him. But his abilities, his kit, his damage, everything is very good. And he's actually good for rank also. But stamina wise, lots of problems. Here we have Hagana. And Hagana is just about like his area too. just about his area too. I wouldn't put her in front of him, closer to the A self, but she's in a good spot there. She has decent damage and the recoil. All of these LMGs, MGs have some kind of weird recoil or spread, so we're not really gonna talk about that. All of them are always the same. She have incendiary nades, and it's good for area denial. Does all the damage. You don't really get a lot of kills from it unless the person is damaged. Someone just subscribed. Thank you very much. And then you have the turret, which is actually where it's at. It's like having an extra man on your team, and having an extra man on your team is so good, especially someone you can tell to go that direction. Well, you can't tell them to go, but you can put them facing that direction and tell them to watch that direction. And I always like that, having someone that can do that. And now she does actually 14 damage per second, so that turret actually is going to do some real dirt for you, and it actually can shoot the person from a good distance. Not just that, it automatically starts shooting the person. So I mean, it's not like you and your slow reaction speed or whatnot. It actually spots them also if you have that in the upgrade, so you can spot them, and that's pretty good. I'm telling you, she's really good. I like playing her, to tell you the truth, because of that, having an extra man on your team basically. It's like a Shaowei, but not being able to move it around. It's good. It's good. Kit. Now, Kit actually used to have one of the best damages in the game. He had the most damage in the game. That's a few patches ago, a few heavy patches, right? Not the little bug fixes. He was actually like that. He was pretty good with his gun, but now he's actually pretty bad with his gun. And I would put him higher, but he's at A. And the reason he's at A is he has a decent recoil, still have a decent recoil. One of the best recoils in all these guys, probably. But his damage is good. It's not nothing. It's pretty much around the same damage as all these guys here. He has mines. The mess up thing is I don't think he can pick up the mines. So if you manage to put down some mines and you decide, no, well, no one's comes that direction, so I want to pick it up. You can pick it up, and I think So Cool, one of these characters, can do that either, because you're like pulling it right in the ground. Not too sure if they changed that. Probably they could have, but I don't really try to pick up mines anymore. Next thing is that he has his banner. The banner actually gives him a lot of more HP, so he gets a full bar of armor. And that's actually pretty good. Trust me, that's pretty good. And you can always push players, but the banner has to be put down. The ability has to be activated, and you can push players and whatnot. And you just know that you have your HP, your plus a full body armor, That is, so the full line, the full bar of body armor, which is probably like 100 or whatnot. You can push players. You can also use that banner to pick up players, which is actually pretty good. So it's like having a second medic, not having to sit down, bow down and pick up the teammates. You can actually just throw down the banner, and yeah, that's good. Here we have Matador. Matador is on the same spot. I think Matador will be a little bit higher than him, and well, we know Matador. And Matador has pretty nice damage. His damage is not something like insane. The insane damage is actually another character, but we're not there yet. You got nice damage. You got a deployable cover, so you can use that to even move closer and closer. You got maybe like 3 of them, so you keep dropping it further and further, and maybe progressing or whatnot. Which is actually pretty good, having decent cover even for picking up your teammates and whatnot. And he's got one of the beast overpowered abilities, and it's actually it's an overability, because it's one of those things that you always ban people for in games, and it's auto aim. He can auto aim you from across the map, which is pretty insane. He can auto aim you inside the smoke, and although he has a lot of counters, Ryan, he has a lot of counters, because even slowing him more than he actually is slowed actually destroys him also, and adds a kind of spread to him if he's trying to move. Yeah, but I think that having a auto aim ability is actually too OP to have in a game. Too OP to have in a game. But it was nerfed. It was actually worse than that. And I think that you guys are gonna have a field day with Matador on the enemy team. Trust me, because I every time I play against him, he destroys all my teammates. You don't really kill me much, but I mean, without your team, you are almost nothing. So he's gonna have a field day with you guys. Odin, S tier, and I mean, Odin is God, so I mean, he's a god. So you expect him to be S tier, as it is right to happen. Um, when it comes to Odin, I think his damage is pretty decent. He has 6 launchers, so it means that no, you don't take that upgrade where you get what 2 or 3 of them. You take the 6 because you don't want to be like a noob that has to like use a launcher to get every single kill. When you have 6 of them, you actually do a little bit of damage, and then you actually shoot the launcher around the corner, whatever, and just finish the person off. His ability is very OP, very OP. The radius of his ability is actually too much, and I sometimes say it needed enough. But it's why he's actually at this spot. Whenever you see that ability popped and you hear that sound and you see that area and it's running up to you, you actually feel like you need to get away, because if you are stunned, you actually get stunned and you actually stunned rooted, which means that you have to stay right there for like 5 seconds. Although you are able to shoot, but and you are marked also. So if he has the upgrade where you are marked, obviously he knows how to approach you even though you're on a corner or whatnot. And it's a wide radius, I'm telling you, wide radius, which makes him pretty much a lethal character, especially if he has to use his launcher around the corner, no matter which one you're using. Whether it's the heavy launcher or the light launcher, when it comes to damage, you're going to die. Varrock, and Varrock, I think Varrock was at B, and I think he was somewhere about that in my last tier list. His recoil and his gun spread is just freaking insane. I don't really see him being anywhere better than this. You have to use like the recoil spread or recoil or the spread skill on him to actually make him feel good, to tell you the truth. Gas never really kills people, but it does have a little aerial denial. Plenty of the characters can actually tank gas in this. A majority of the characters that people use that are kind of OP and well versed, they actually gas don't do them anything. So good luck with the gas thing. You can see through smoke when he uses his ability. The ability is actually up every, I don't know if it's every 10 seconds you can make it, unless they nerfed it again. But you could actually use that ability pretty often. So you could drop a smoke and see through it, and if the enemy is actually pushing you, there's a lot of troubles. So he can be sometimes very OP, especially new players, because new players would think it's just a smoke if they don't know the character, and then they would just try to run and he'll just destroy them. Or even try to move away. Sometimes the enemy will try to move away, but they're still in sight and he sees them through the smoke, which is actually pretty good. But it's nothing amazing, I would say. Here we have Stern. And I think I put Stern at C. Yeah, I think I put Stern at C. Gets up to 150 HP with his ability. With not his ability, but actually with skills, his ability will turn that up a little bit more. He has a launcher with 2 shots in it. Pretty good. I would say that the worst thing you could actually do is use the upgrade where he can control it. No, that's actually messed up. It just messes up everything. I thought it would be like a TV missile, but it's just you controlling it from wherever you are. So if you step on the side by mistake because you're getting shot, the missile will just be a dupe. He gets like 55 shields. 55 shields is alright whenever you use our ability. But at the same time, it's kind of meh. Let's go say compared to Alma's over 100 HP. But it's alright. It's alright. There's nothing really I could see about him that's like big of a downside self. But he's not like the greatest pick. and you probably wouldn't see him as much because his scope is actually meh also, unless you get that skin. If you get that skin for him, then you would probably be better off. Sputnik. Sputnik, I put Sputnik at B. Sputnik was actually very high, but you know what actually messed him up? What messed him up is actually his gun spread. Even with the recoil or the spread skill, still doesn't really work with him. You have to be real good at controlling recoil. The next thing is that he has 2 launchers, but some people actually use the one where you have Incinerary, where you get 1 instead, and that's, don't do that. Don't do that at all. His drone, this drone was so good, but now it's so buggy. Sometimes you throw it on the ground, I don't even move. You throw it on the ground, don't even move, it wastes your ability. It usually spots people, and when it actually works, I'm telling you, it works good. And he'll be high, he'll be A. But the drone always not working. It stays in your feet sometimes, and it don't look for the enemies, because that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to look for the enemy and highlight them and follow them and annoy them. And the next thing it actually is supposed to do is you could like explode it and do 50 damage or so to the enemy, which is actually pretty nice. But Sputnik was my favorite support, to tell you the truth. Now it's more like Odin. Here we have Varrock. And Varrock is one of those guys that actually does very good. He does very good. His gun, it's not really an amazing gun, I would say, but it's okay. It has a lot of range. He stops you from aiming down sight, which is actually incredible. The suppression effect. So even if a sniper is shooting you, drop a couple shots on them, and they can aim down sight for like 5 seconds or something like that. And that's actually pretty good. I mean, what else do you want from a character? A character that is a support. Maybe you want some explosives. Yeah, he has that too. He has a grenade launcher with about 6 explosives in it, or the ability to get 6 of them. Yeah, it's pretty good, but it's not good enough because his damage his range is not, his range is there, but the damage is just not there. To tell you the truth, the damage is not there. He just can't compete with those that are either A and S tier. In terms of his ability also, because the spread, adding spread to the enemy or having them not being able to aim down sight, actually because they can't aim down sight, obviously that they will just be hip firing. So adding spread to them is not really OP, like stunning them where they can't even shoot their guns. So yeah, Tibet, another one again I'd put actually in C. He's somewhere before Bastion, and the main reason is because of his ability to, he can shield his teammates and he can get a little extra boost in speed. Next thing he have is actually the flash, and the flash comes in clutch, but every single thing leads up to having pistol damage. So you gotta use the perks that gives pistols more damage, and making close combat be OP, which is readiness and heavy barrel, counter attack skills. Now we have one of the most OP characters in the game, and that is actually Fortress. Fortress is the most overpowered character, so much that they have to ban her in every ranked game. You won't even get to play Fortress in a ranked game. She has the second highest headshot damage in the supports, so the recruit has the highest headshot damage, and she has the second headshot damage, going for 39, while the recruit is actually 41. She's kind of OP, to tell the truth. Her recoil is not that bad, the spread is not that bad on her guns damage, as I told you. She has something like little tiny explosives that she can throw on the ground. They don't do a lot of damage, probably like 40, but she can throw down groups of them, like 5 groups of them, and stack them up. So it's area denial for her. She has area denial, which is actually pretty good for when you're playing ranked. So all these 3 up there have area denial, which makes them very much a powerful force to be reckoned with. You have Incinerator Armor, which is her is it a special gear or it is a special gear? Special gear, she throws down a box, and the box has incendiary ammo in it, and the whole team can actually have incendiary ammo in their first magazine. So if you got a big magazine, I think it's going to have a lot more, because I'm not too sure if it's like percentage based or whatnot, but you can have a good amount of fiery bullets inside that magazine. If it's not the full magazine, for certain characters, obviously, because your magazine is smaller, but you'll be able to have full magazine of fire ammo, which does damage over time. So everybody just dies. I'm telling you, everybody just dies. You have to ban this character in ranked. She's OP. Here we have, who's that? Oh, this is the most useless character in the game, and that's actually Zuber. Well, not the most useless character, but the most useless support. Zuber, his damage is alright. There's like a lot of spread, a lot of bouncing all around. What they really want you to do with that character is actually play on bipods. Who does that? Nobody really bipods in this game, unless you're a sniper. You're not gonna bipod in a fight like that, and they don't have places where you can bipod properly to really enjoy it. You get a little bit of tankiness from it. You get a lot of tankiness from it, maybe about 70% tankiness, damage reduction from using his ability. But at the end of the day, bipodding is not really a thing, and this is what would make him strong. And bipodding is just not a thing, I'm telling you. Bipodding is just not a thing, which makes him kind of useless. Knowing that he has smokes and he's bipodding. I mean, what are you doing with smokes if you're gonna be bipodding? I'm not too sure what he's really going to be doing. But yeah, this is the support tier list. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and stick around for the revisions in the future. I'll be doing revisions of the tier list, where I'll just have them just like this, and I'll tell you where they move down or where they move up. This is what I'll be doing in the new revisions when they're doing little updates, and probably when they drop new characters collections, because they usually drop like all four characters before time. If you guys didn't know, before they only used to drop one every time, but now they drop 4 at a time. So that's why they take a longer time before they actually drop characters again. Because if they're doing 4 of them and not like one, like let's say Overwatch had like 4 characters probably for the past 5 years, but they're dropping like 4, 8, 12 characters for the past years. So it's different. It's different. It's very different. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to drop a like before you go, and subscribe if you haven't for more caliber content. And I'll see you in the next one.